welcome to the channel. This is my first video on Raid Shadow Legends as a free-to-play account. I know there's many other channels out there that already do Raid. Most of those, of course, spend a lot of money because that's how they can show you all the good stuff in the game and how they can show off all of the new characters. But there are many players out there like me that are free to play, and whilst this game is really enjoyable, it has a struggle to it. My word, the grind is real, and I'm sure many of you feel the same way as me. But there's enough to it that keeps me coming back. So let me just show you very quickly. I am day 17. You can see I've just collected my day 17 reward. I'll be coming back to this screen in a little bit just to show you a few of the other rewards you can get along the way if you've just started. But as I say, free to play. I've got a little way into it. I'd like to be further, but I am where I am. But I want to give you my initial impressions, the good, the bad, maybe a couple of tips along the way if I can. So when I started playing this game, I just went through the starting piece, picked my character, and then after a couple of days I looked at another couple of videos from Hal Hades and Ash. And I took some of their tips and their hints. And I followed those, and I did well enough, but there's a couple of things that I would tweak. Let me just grab this gem. And before I dive into that, there's 2 minutes left on clan versus clan. Let me just take a little look at this from what happened overnight. So okay, we're winning. We're not doing the best, we're only on tier 1 and we haven't quite finished that last milestone, but that's okay. This actually helps me a lot. These chickens that you can see, they help me push through and get the last of my 4 stars that I needed in order to get my main character up to 60, which I'm not quite there, but very nearly. So that's all good. We're going to get a couple of rings, which is nothing major. Let me just go get my freebies from the shop. We'll claim that mystery shard, and somewhere over here, is it my daily pack? No. Appreciation pack, there we go. A little bit more energy, because that's one of the things you really do run out of. Any energy that you can get is all good. So let's jump into the characters. First of all, the character I picked, my starting character out of 4, was Alhain. Now, I know the character most people will pick and people tend to say is the one to use is KL. I didn't do that because I hadn't looked at any videos at that point. Quite frankly, I just liked the look of her, and she had a couple of skills I thought were okay. She's got an AoE attack here and an AoE attack on her A3, and I thought, great, I'm going to use that. Now, after I saw the videos about go with KL, I very nearly started again, but thought, you know what, nah, I'm just going to stick with it and carry on. Now, KL, fine, I know he's got poison, I know he's really useful everywhere. And I would still suggest to you pick KL if you're starting out. But I'm happy with Alhain and I will keep going. She's my main campaign farmer. Now, I've got a few, bits of gear on her, artifacts. I will always call it gear because that's what I'm used to. Her skills, I've managed to get her skills up. I've booked her. She's got everything that I can possibly give her. And the masteries. I have given her masteries, and this is one of the things I wished I'd have done sooner. Her masteries, I basically followed Raid Wiki and took down the masteries they suggested for campaign farming. I didn't farm for the scrolls for these, and boy, there's a lot of farming in this game for everything. I actually bought them, not with money, but with the gems that I get from playing. And that's perhaps one of the tips that I would suggest slightly differently to what other YouTubers have suggested. But I'll come back to that. So again, I'm enjoying this game. There are some downsides to it. I'll give a brief overview of those. But there are some very, very good points to it as well. It's still keeping me going. I'll probably cover those downsides in other videos. Otherwise it will turn into a long rant video, and I don't want to do that. So it is a gacha game, and I'll come back to these masteries, sorry. But it is a gacha game. Oh, there we go. Our clan versus clan has finished. I will take another look at this before we dive in, and claim a couple of rings. Okay, good. So, where was I before that popped up? It's a gacha game. Let me come over to the portal. This is where you'll summon your characters. You can see here there's 4 different types of shards. The one you get an abundance of is the mystery shard. You don't get very much from that. Honestly, it's mainly commons and uncommons. If you're very lucky, you might get a rare. And then you can see, actually it lists them down the side, the blue ones, the ancient shards will give you rares as a minimum, maybe an epic or legendary. Same with the void, and then the sacred shard is epic or legendary. If we take a little look at the rates, it's not that generous. For your mystery shards, it's a 1.5% chance at a rare. I think out of the many I've pulled maybe, I don't know, 10. It's okay, it is what it is. The ancient shards onwards, they're very hard to come by. I say very hard. The ancient ones, you get them here and there. The voids and the sacreds, you get a lot more, it's few and far between for those, and you can see the rates. And the one maybe good thing on this is those sacred shards, the gold ones. It's a 6% chance for a legendary, which is perhaps a little bit higher than most gachas, but overall the gacha rate on this isn't that great. Even those void shards that can give legendaries, it's 0.5% chance. When I compare back to other gachas I've played, and the first one I ever played was Destiny Child, it was a 3% chance, but they actually give you more of the in-game currency to actually get characters. And even with a 3% chance, you'd pull them quite often because they gave you so much currency to be able to do that. In here, they really don't. It's going to take you a long time as a free-to-play to get those void and sacred shards to even stand a chance. They do give a couple of freebies out, and I've managed to actually get some. If I come back to my champions, you can see I do actually have one legendary. I got very lucky pulling her. And then there's a couple of epics that you get given for logging in for the first couple of weeks. You can see I've not even touched these yet. I'll come back to why in a moment. One that I did pull, Rector Drath, I'm really happy with. She's got some great skills. I call her she. I think it's a he. Genuinely don't know. Let's just turn her around a little bit. Nah, undecided. Probably a guy. It's because it looks like they're wearing a bit of a dress. But if it's a girl, it's quite an ugly girl. But I think it's a guy. But anyway, got some decent skills. Heals everybody and puts a veil on them, which keeps on going and keeps them safe. And then the spirit form is a resurrect. And again, I really like that. Really useful at times. So I got myself a couple of characters, and I'm kind of okay with that. But again, those rates, they're not great. And if you look as an example, if we come back to the daily login rewards, in your first 30 days, you do get a couple of these purple shards, the voids. But you're not going to get any legendaries. They do give you a free character at the end of your 30 days. But if you come further down, they give you another legendary after 180 days. And then as we keep on coming, when you get to day 268, you get a sacred shard along with day 265. So day 265 is perhaps the first one that you will get. That's a lot of playtime. And then when you come to the 271 plus days, every 30 days, you will get another one. So they're not being that generous. Most gachas want to pull you in. They want to give you some of the big ones first, so that you feel like you're getting there and you're pulling great things. not Plarium, not Raid Shadow Legends. You can get some others, and one of the things I would suggest you do is the quests, the dailies and weeklies and monthlies. The dailies, nothing special, there's not many, they can be done in maybe 10-15 minutes. But the reason to get through the dailies is when you come to the weekly, once you get through all of your quests here, you can see that you get yourself one of the blue shards. Now, in order to get that, you have to complete all of your daily quests 5 times, that first quest there. So you're doing the dailies, which helps you complete the weekly and get that blue one. And then the monthly. Now, once you've done those dailies 30 times, you get yourself one of the void shards, and then you'll also get yourself one of those sacred shards. So you can get yourself a couple of these a month. But much further down the line, you know, you're looking at more like 8 or 9 months of playing before you start getting a couple of these a month, which to me is not generous. But, you know, that's a video for another day. But these are your shards. These are how you pull characters. The other thing that I've got in here that I would really suggest you do is your missions. These missions, you can get another couple of shards down here, another couple of legendaries, but it will take you a while. I've actually completed the first set, so I can't show you, they're not there to look at, and got myself those 300 gems at the bottom. And as you come across, you can actually see I've done 13 out of 75 towards this. Some of these are done, but they're locked until you get there. And there's lots and lots to do, some harder than others, much harder than others, in fact. But I suggest you work your way through them as you play so that you don't have to come back to them again. The one downside to that is the energy that you can see at the top. Some of these, it forces you to go and play certain things that you may not want to, and that reduces your energy that you might want to be using for farming. But it is what it is, and it helps you get your gems and some more gear, and it just keeps you going and tops things up for you. Something to do, but does actually help with your progression. So do your quests, do your missions, and at least you'll be getting bits and pieces here and there, including some XP like this little bottle here. Just gives you a little bit more. Now, one of the things that I would suggest slightly differently to some of the other YouTubers, one of the things they suggest is once you get your first 500 gems, go and buy the mine, because it will give you gems, you know, every couple of hours, or if you upgrade it a little bit quicker. I actually bought this based on their advice, and then also, not with their advice, because I didn't actually say, I spent another 500 to upgrade it to get a few more quicker. Now, it's a long-term investment. After about 3 months, you're probably going to have made those back. But what I would have done first, before buying that, is using 800 gems to come in and buy these masteries. These you have to farm with you have to farm scrolls, but you need a heck of a lot of them. And 800 gems will buy you all of the masteries that you need on one character. I'm not quite at the 6-star yet, so I can't buy the bottom row mastery, but the scrolls are there because I've bought them. Again, this is not my devising. I went to Raid Wiki, looked at Alhain, campaign, and then I selected the masteries that they suggested. But the reason I would have done this first is because with these masteries on, she becomes so much stronger, and that's allowed me to farm further into the campaign, and also allow me to level up the characters I need in order to get her to 6-star, which is one of the other downsides. If we come into the campaign and we take a little look here, I'm currently on hard. There are 4 difficulty levels. I'm not quite able to get to brutal yet, but I can do hard. And if we come all the way across, there's 12 main chapters. And in here, I could farm all of these. I just kind of stopped at this point, and I'm doing 12.3, which is the stage most people say to farm. Now, before I got her masteries, I couldn't get this far with her on her own. I had to have somebody else with me. And having 2 people with me to get through the level meant that I could only level up 2 other characters. Now that I've got the masteries, I've been able to use her on her own all the way through, and therefore level up 3 characters, which speeds up my progression hugely. And the reason we want to level up more characters is because we need to get her to 6-star. And boy, is that a real chore. It's the biggest problem of the game, in my opinion. If we come back to the champions, and I come into the tavern, now it won't show you here, but because I'm not quite at the space where I can do it, but I need 5-star characters to get her from 5-star to 6-star. And in order to do that, I need to farm an absolute ton of 4-star characters. If I now come, back to my champions, but into my vault, where I just saved some people off, you can see here I've got the top 2 rows of 4 stars, and I've got some more on that 3rd row. That's actually 22 4 stars, and then I've got the 3 on the side that I'm also using. They're the ones I'm leveling at the moment. I've put them in my vault just to keep them out the way, but you need 25 4 stars. You're going to have to level 5 of those up to max level. They can then eat another 4 of the 4 stars each, thus why you need 5 4 stars before you can turn one into a 5-star. That's a hell of a lot of farming, and most of this is leveling up 2 and 3 stars, sometimes the 1 stars, and constantly upgrading them until you get to this point. Now, like I say, 17 days in, I've got the total number of 4 stars I need. I'm just leveling up the final 4 stars before I can throw them at Alhain and get her to 6-star. At which point she will probably be able to do more of Brutal as well, or at least get to Brutal and get me through it. So there's a lot of farming involved, and I very nearly quit the game because of that, and it took so long. But after getting the masteries on Alhain and being able to level them quicker, it gave me a little boost and a little push to go and do that. At the moment, by the way, there is a tournament on. It's their 12th anniversary. It's not a great anniversary event. Basically, any of these events in any other gacha, they throw stuff at you. It's like, hey, we're celebrating, have a whole load of stuff, in-game currency, characters, whatever you need, we're going to give it to you. Not Plerium, because Plerium love their money. Now, at the moment, I'm not really playing for first place, but, you know, it is where it is. I'm currently in 4th, and I'm actually only in this tournament because I'm actually leveling my characters up, and that's what this whole thing is. It's leveling up characters to score points to get to the top of the league. I don't actually care about this character here, again, after looking at other people's videos. But as I'm leveling characters up, I'm scoring points. And who knows, maybe I'll end up in the top spot, maybe I won't. I genuinely don't care. But right now, what I'm doing is coming into the battle, into the campaign, and I'm just farming over and over again and leveling up these 4 stars, and then I've got 1 more to do. And this is what I say about the grind. This is where you're going to spend, 90% of your time, and it gets really dull and boring, because this is not what I want to be doing with all of my time. It's probably what puts a lot of people off playing. They might get through a week or 2, look at this and go, do you know what, it's not for me, it's a lot of effort, and it really is. And remember, this is to get your first 6-star. After that, you want to get another 4 of them for your main group of characters, and then you'll want others to get through other content. There's a lot to do, but most of what you're doing is the same. That being said, once I've got Alhain to 6 stars and I can get further and do more, I will bring in some other characters, but I might just get some to 50 first. And the reason I want to get some to 50 first is because I've got past level 35, and level 35 is where they open up the tag team arena. And over on the tag team arena, you need 3 teams of 4, so 12 characters. And the reason I want to get through this is because of the bazaar. and in the bazaar I want this guy. Now Drexstar, you can see 360 gold bars for one shard. You need 100 shards, and with where I am, which is not very far, I can get 18 shards for a perfect win. So you get 6 shards for each team that you beat, or bars, sorry. Now, that's going to take forever. On a good day, if I was able to beat 10 teams, you only get 10 goes at this a day. Maybe you can buy more. And you can see here my team. It sucks because I haven't leveled many people up because I'm focusing on Alhain. But what I want to do is get more of these gold bars every day. At the minute, it's going to take me at least, I think, 100 days. I think 200 actually. I think I get 180 a day. So yeah, I need 2 days to buy 1 shard. It's going to take me a couple of 100 days. And just occasionally in here you get a team like this that's been set up and you can just go in and demolish it. And that's what I'm looking for at the moment. I can't go, mad. I can't go out after some of these teams because I just haven't got the characters leveled up. So when I've got Alhain to 60, my plan is get some characters to 40 and 50. I can at least do a little bit more in here, and then I'll think about doing another character to 60. It will take time because of that energy. It is what it is. So there's a few things there good. There's some things there that are bad. That's where I am at day 17. That's my plan going forward. It shouldn't take me too long now, I hope, to get Alhain to 60. It's the final push. I'll do another video on that as I'm about to get her there. And then there'll be a whole leveling process again, of course. So that's really it for this first one. That's my initial impression. As I say, I will do other videos on things like their gacha rates, things like their prices. In fact, let's just show you their prices because, as I say, they're not generous. Ancient shards here. For 1 blue shard, it's going to cost you £10. Now, if that's how they price their rares, that's pretty steep in my opinion. And then you look here and you can buy one of the void shards for £30. Yes, you get gems and you get silver, but it's the shards that I'm looking at in particular. And boy, do they want money out of you. Look at all these offers just on this tab. And then when you look at the bank, you can spend money or gems on certain things that you're going to need, like these books. These books you need also to level up your characters and get the best out of their skills. The gem shop, yes, you can spend the gems that you've earned on all sorts, but then you've got all of these packs, and there's so many of them. £30 to get a few shards here, some gems, some energy, pure gems, and then you get some starter packs, founder packs. Boy, do these prices go up. I mean, look at that, £50 and you get 1 sacred shard. It's just not good value in my opinion. You look at these raid cards that give you extra stuff as you play, and some limited special offers, and again they just keep on going. And when you log in, you'll get 3 or 4 of these offers pop up on your screen. They really ram it in your face. I'm not going to say it's predatory, but boy, are they hungry for your money. They are thirsty, thirsty people, and they love the money. Again, a video for another time. But that's where I am. That's my first video. As I do more, there'll be progression and there'll be maybe hints, tips, a little rant here and there, just to show you how you can get along and how your progression is likely to go as free to play. I will say, of course, other people have probably leveled up their first 6-star a lot faster than me. But it is what it is. A lot of people don't have time, or the inclination sometimes. You just want to come out of it because, oh God, the grind's just too much. I can't be bothered anymore. And then you come back to it. But if you're picking it up, do have fun with it. Do those missions because that's the fun bit, at least the first part. As I get onto the second part, I'm looking at this and thinking, do you know what? I don't want to use my energy right now there because I want to get Alhain to 60. So that can just sit there for the time being, but I will come back to it. I definitely want to try and work through and get my way to this arbiter. But yeah, have fun, and I will see you soon in another video. Thank you.